All right. Here we have at the top right-hand corner of Tal'Darim Altar, man who beat Trickster in the first match is none other than MarineKing Prime.we. And his opponent at the top left-hand corner of the map, Tal'Darim Altar, randomly selected by GOM, is his opponent from Incredible Miracle. It is silver medalist LosirA. I guess they're both silver medalists from previous seasons.
Yeah. These are finalists fighting against each other. MarineKing, a multiple-time finalist. Of course, LosirA, a winner of Code A. MarineKing actually a finalist of Code A.
Finalist of Code A, took second in Code A.
Pretty good series. I definitely recommend watching that. And speaking of watching that, tell your friends to get the premium service. Tell them to go to GOMTV.net, get the premium service, watch all the VODs. There's so much content out there.
Yeah.
Tell them about just how much content is out there, not just this season particularly of Code S, all the previous seasons. All of that content is still out there and available. I know you guys got a glimpse of some of that content when we had that free weekend a few weeks ago. And just tell your friends, get on Twitter, tweet about the GSL, tweet at GOMTV, tweet at EpicSoWolf, at Moltrap, even tweet at GoSuDoa, and call me Tasteless and Artosis. Tweet at all of us. Get out there, get on Twitter, spread the word, make it so that all of your friends know about the GSL.
Yeah.
This is a show that a lot of people watch, but so many people don't even know about.
Because I mean, if you like this kind of stuff, especially if you like this specific tournament with all the most famous players in it, that's the way to kind of support it.
Yeah.
And make sure that there's more of it in the future.
Exactly. Definitely, if you guys love GOMTV as much as Moltrap and I do, and of course, Tasteless and Artosis and Doa, get on there on Twitter, talk about it, tell your friends about it. It's a great way to support the GSL and StarCraft and esports in general. Now, I want to talk a little bit...
You don't want to kill esports, but yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to talk a little bit about what's been going on while we were trying to save esports from people who are trying to ruin esports. It's been a Command Center first from MarineKing. He's adding 2 barracks now behind that. So super fast Command Center. And of course, LosirA went for a hatchery first. Doing some scouting right now. He actually hasn't yet discovered that MarineKing went for a Command Center first.
Yeah, a little bit risky by MarineKing since he doesn't really know, what could be coming. But it's a educated risk. It's a reasonable risk on this map. I mean, LosirA is probably not going to do anything other than hatch first on this map.
Yeah, now he sees both orbitals being made. He's got an Overlord and a drone coming here at the same time, so unfortunately for LosirA, didn't see it until it was just the last second there. Scouted everywhere else first. And this is actually something MarineKing does a lot. He's practiced this build quite a bit. So for some people, for example, Bit by Bit actually came in and went for Command Center first and be so unheard of, but MarineKing actually does builds like this a lot. He loves the one-rack expand, Command Center first, especially on a map like Tal'Darim Altar. So this map is really going to suit his style. But also, LosirA is really good in the late game, so this is actually going to be maybe our most exciting match yet today.
That is really interesting. We just saw a shot of LosirA's Overlord. It's like camped above one of the little platforms, but we saw it a minute ago. But it's not camped above the usual platform. I think he knows because he got it there late enough that the Marines would have killed it. But where it is right now, he can still see if any Marines move out. If MarineKing moves out, he can spot it.
Yeah, it's a really cool spot for LosirA to have that Overlord. We're talking, of course, about the Overlord at the choke point of MarineKing. You guys will get a shot of it in a second. Now, MarineKing actually is checking out with his SCV right now because he has absolutely no idea what LosirA is doing. He doesn't know where he's located yet either. He hasn't seen the Overlord whatsoever.
It's really interesting. Both players actually scouted cross positions first. LosirA sent a drone scout cross positions first, and MarineKing actually sent his SCV cross positions first as well. So, very interesting. They wanted to know if it was going to be a long, long distance. They had different plans, I guess. A lot of Zerglings out for LosirA.
There is a ton of Zerglings. He's actually just going to try to run by here, and MarineKing doesn't have a wall off yet. He has a ton of Marines, though. They're not positioned in the best way. If he waits any longer here, though, the wall off may complete. It's going to be really close. Is MarineKing going to finish it? Here they come. The wall off isn't complete.
MarineKing trying to hide in that little clump there. He's sending his SCVs in. LosirA just completely subverts that and tries to go into the main. He doesn't know where to go, though, right now. Trying to go in to kill some SCVs here in the main. Good SCV micro, trying to run them away. Loses a few, though. LosirA has to be so careful here.
And it looks like he is completely walled up with his natural. LosirA's second wave of Lings is trying to get inside. And MarineKing actually deflects this quite easily, but the bunker falls.
More Zerglings coming in, but they're going to escape. Nicely done by, well, by MarineKing, actually. I think got the better end of that.
Yeah,
deal.
MarineKing definitely did. He only lost about, I'll give you guys some numbers, he lost about 6 workers there. But that was, with all the Zerglings that LosirA made.
Yeah, but he killed about 30 lings.
Yeah, he killed about 30 lings, and with all those lings made, LosirA lost drones in that time. He should have been making drones during that time and wasn't, but of course he's flipped that switch. He's gone into total drone production ever since then. He's made about 11 more drones. More popping out here. I'll give you guys some more numbers. Right now, it's 33 SCVs to 37 drones, despite that huge ling aggression.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually, he made a lot of lings, because he still has a ton of lings killing off the rocks at the 3rd, so he made just a lot of Zerglings there. MarineKing might actually try and counterattack here.
I think he will.
Long too.
Well, like we were talking about earlier, MarineKing is kind of like the Kyrix of Terran. He will just be aggressive. He's doing the 4 barracks build that SC Foyu used to do. Then of course FXO SC and now MVP SC. That guy's bounced around some teams recently. That guy used to do this build, and MarineKing is kind of doing his own version of it here. I think he's waiting a little bit longer because he wants to make sure that LosirA doesn't expect this as a normal timing, but LosirA actually is going to see this because he has that same Overlord you were talking about. He's actually going to do a crazy counterattack.
Yes, he is. He's just going to get right in here and start killing some reinforcements. He's got Banelings prepped as well if MarineKing turns around. Zergling's doing tons of damage, but this army is moving across the map. He does have Banelings right now.
MarineKing is just not going to turn around, man. And these Banelings are actually going to be able to do so much damage to these SCVs. Oh my god, the SCVs are the natural, completely obliterated.
God, MarineKing not paying any attention at all. The Zerglings are going to kill the rest of his SCVs. MarineKing has to win with this push. He has to base trade. Banelings coming in. Unfortunately, they waste themselves on some Marauders, but there's too many Banelings forcing him all the way back. MarineKing doing some good MarineKing splitting and is able to hold off that first wave, but if he does not win with this group of units, he will lose the game because he has no SCVs remaining. Yeah,
9 SCVs to 28 drones right now, but it looks like LosirA is going to clean this up, and from there is going to be able to do whatever he pleases. I'll give you guys all the numbers now. 1 Mule, 11 SCVs, and 8 Marines for MarineKing to 27 drones, 18 Zerglings, and 3 Queens. That's it.
Wow.
That's all there is. Of course, there's 9 Overlords as well, but we don't care about those. That one Overlord, though, that was floating over the depot that you mentioned earlier is in a perfect spot.
It was really like a key Overlord because it spotted everything MarineKing has done. He doesn't even know it's there. He's like, oh my god, he just somehow got in there at the right moment.
Nice micro by MarineKing, pulling back to the depot, but had to stim, so lost a lot of hit points there. Now, LosirA can actually just make only Zerglings and Banelings and win this fight. MarineKing has no factories. He can make 2 Marauders at a time if he chooses to, but, you know, if he makes too many Marauders, then the Zerglings will just overwhelm him.
And, yeah, so MarineKing finally making that a complete wall there. I think those Banelings were actually to kill the depot wall.
Yeah.
But MarineKing just left his
wall
it down. Open.
He just
so
had
he's like,
no
all
intention
right,
of turning around.
I'll just kill all your SCVs then with these Banelings if you don't want. Because I think he had 5, which is exactly the amount that you need to bust down depots.
Yeah. And he just had no intention of turning around.
So, very interesting factory being created, though, to block that wall off, so he might switch into Marine Tank here.
Here comes some more Baneling aggression, though, from LosirA. He's going to kill so many depots.
Wow.
And in fact, killed the SCV building the factory, so that factory is getting delayed a little bit.
It's not bad. He killed 3 depots.
Forced the stem as well.
Could have killed more.
Starport nowhere near being done. The factory actually still has not been restarted. It's just sitting there at about 80% completion with very few hit points. Lair is finishing up, Evolution Chamber going up. LosirA actually droned quite a bit before that second attack. Right now the worker count is 53 drones to 27 SCVs. LosirA's got control of the middle of the map. He can take a 3rd base very easily if he wants to. In fact, I'm kind of surprised he's not. He's just got total control of this game. It's in his hands.
It is.
It's like a clay ball, and he's actually just molding it into whatever he wants.
Yeah. And up until this point, MarineKing has decided to just use Marauders, and finally finds that Overlord.
Yeah, that Overlord.
Actually, only found it because it moved off position.
And it actually might get away for a little bit longer with 9 hit points left. Look at this.
Oh,
that same Overlord
while
allows
he was
him to
chasing
get
the
him.
Overlord. That's actually hilarious. While he was chasing the Overlord with his Marines, Zerglings just ran in behind.
And the Overlord's still alive, actually. Still alive and floating.
Does he know about those Zerglings
he
down
has
there?
no idea.
I don't think he knows. He should have seen them run down there.
He has
but
no
he
idea,
doesn't
man.
know.
He hasn't even killed the Overlord, the hero Overlord of the day, man. That Overlord is still in the base. He can actually spread creep. Oh my god.
Goodness.
5 Banelings being morphed completely out of vision of MarineKing. He's already low on SCVs. A lot of those SCVs low on hit points from the Zergling attack, so one Baneling will kill several of those SCVs. It's 56 drones to 26 SCVs right now, and boom! There's one. These other 3 are going for the natural.
Oh my gosh. More SCVs going down. Oh, killing so many of them.
Oh man, 56 to 17 right now. MarineKing's doing a pretty scary push, but I think there are just plenty of Banelings to hold this. Here he goes.
Oh, so many Banelings moving in here. And they're not targeting the Marauder this time, so they're getting off so many Marines. And a couple last Banelings don't land, but it may have been enough for these Zerglings to clean up. He's trying to hold off.
It's gonna be close. Drones coming out here to buy time. More Banelings are morphing. A lot of these units on very low hit points. Here come the Banelings. Baneling speed is done. Gets a lot of these Marines, and now the drones may just clean up with a few more Zerglings coming out. It looks like he is going to clean this up.
Wow. So, yeah, he does clean that up. The drones bought enough time for a few more Banelings to come in, which is all he needed for the Zerglings to... all he needed along with the Zerglings to clean up that attack. But MarineKing, again, like we were talking about before, man, he just doesn't stop attacking.
He just doesn't. He's doing it again here. And talk about balance. I mean, LosirA just knows exactly how to balance his aggression and how to defend. Nice pickup of the depot in time from MarineKing.
And, oh, he might lose those
burrowing
Zerglings.
some Banelings in the middle of the pathway from MarineKing.
Oh, nice.
But they are very near a creep tumor, so it's going to be kind of a hit or miss whether or not those go off.
True. MarineKing hasn't been too persistent about scanning to kill those creep tumors, though, so...
Yeah, because he's so low on hit points, he wants to use every mule he can.
And we're going to find out soon, though.
He actually has no scans.
Oh, losing some, and that's not even the one we were... Wait, is that the...
Yeah, he relocated them to that location to avoid the scans.
So, nice little hit there. Taking out another clump of Marines, and Mutalisks are out now.
Yeah, and the more Marines he kills, of course, the more powerful those Mutas will become. Sending those Mutas back to the main of MarineKing, where he doesn't have any turrets up. He has no answer for these. I like that MarineKing continues to be aggressive, but he's just got to be very careful about these little Muta run-bys, or should I say flybys.
Yeah, SCVs in the main are damaged from those Banelings before, so they're going to go down even quicker. Marines coming in to deflect those Mutalisks. There's not that many Mutalisks. Actually, that's pretty good amount of kills considering how many mutas he had. Usually with that many mutas, you can't get too much damage done, but with 0 turrets, they really get some kills.
MarineKing is going to counterattack and hit this third base of LosirA. LosirA's going to have to cancel it. And actually, MarineKing has enough units, so I don't think LosirA should try to engage this. He's going to try anyways. He just has so many Banelings, it's going to work out for him.
Yeah, a lot of Zerglings as well are going to help clean that up. So once again, MarineKing barely pushed back and held back into his base.
MarineKing is just being so aggressive that LosirA can never take a third base, but even so, he just keeps shutting down MarineKing's units. And MarineKing's mining out too. One lone Muta has been
stimming
spotted.
Several Marines to kill this Mutalisk.
Probably thought there were several there.
Yeah.
Several more are coming though.
There they are.
They're coming. 9
Mutalisks now coming in. A couple are very badly hurt. There are turrets up now though for MarineKing.
Look at that, burrowing more Banelings.
And MarineKing, I mean, he's had that third command center, by the way, for a long time. He's just been dropping mules with it. He hasn't
making extra SCVs as well.
Floated anywhere because LosirA has also been very aggressive, but he's been able to get a lot of minerals because of it.
A lot of these SCVs are already on low hit points from earlier harassment, so these mules clean up so many of them every time they attack. He's going to get this refinery as well and get out of there. Smart by MarineKing, doesn't stim.
Sometimes if you know you're going to get harassed by that, it's a good idea to put one SCV on auto repair in your mineral line.
Yeah.
It'll sit there repairing all your SCVs. Because otherwise, I mean, a lot of those SCVs are going to get hit by glaive, and nice spotting that Baneling bomb before it can kill all of his units. There's a lot of Mutas out now, man.
Yeah, right now the Mutalisk count has gone up to 15. He's got one more on the way. He's going to go up to 16. And he actually does not have any upgrades for those Mutas, but he does have +2 melee weapons. I like that MarineKing is now being very smart and proactive, scanning at the best locations for Banelings, which is exactly where LosirA is putting them. And MarineKing is actually caught up in supply.
Yeah.
It's 119 supply for LosirA, 115 for MarineKing.
Here's the thing, though. MarineKing he's been dropping so many mules that he's almost mined out in his main and his natural. So he needs to get something done here pretty quick.
Nice targeting on these siege tanks. Does lose a few mutas though, and he's going to need those mutas to hold this.
Oh, he's trying to siege up on the low ground there.
Oh, nice flank by LosirA.
Oh, picking off the tank.
Oh!
Wow, good target firing there by MarineKing, targeting
Nicely
those banelings.
done. That was actually beautiful control by MarineKing. They were all clumped up for a second. I was like, oh man, he's going to lose all these Marines, but then he just picked them up. LosirA is in trouble, man. MarineKing takes a supply lead here, loses a few units on the low ground, but there's not much answer for the ones on the high ground. GG! MarineKing with a crazy comeback.
And part of the reason why, I mean, at that time in the game, you would normally expect LosirA to have like 4 bases, and he's like, I don't care if you kill my natural. But LosirA had just barely gotten his 3rd up at that point, so he was relatively low on drones, so that's why he left the game there. MarineKing, that was all or nothing for him too, because again, if he didn't win with that push, then he was mined out in his main and his natural. He probably maybe would have mustered up one more push, but he was getting really really skimpy there.
Well, he just showed that Terran can make things work with mules and hyper-aggression. If you get in a scrappy spot, you're not out yet. You can continue to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Make sure your opponent can't take a 3rd base. Keep trading armies with him as long as when you get counterattacked, you defend it decently well. He even had some times where he didn't defend at all and lost tons of SCVs. But even so, he was just so meticulous about everything that he did.
Yeah, and really he would have. That's a good thing to think about though, is that he actually would have won that game a lot sooner if he'd actually had any multitasking that game. Like he didn't split his SCVs against Banelings like 4 times. He didn't raise his depots to block the attack 2 or 3 times, and still managed to pull it out there. And like you said, it's just a combo of mules and aggression. I mean, I remember reading, listening to an interview that Artosis did with MVP a few months ago, actually, on his YouTube channel. Anyways, I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute, actually, because we're going to get started on game number 2 here. It's going to be on Metalopolis. Can LosirA take a game on Metalopolis to keep himself in the series? We're going to find out right now at the Arena of Legends.